Hello and welcome to iCabbi's Fleet Beat, our customer conversation series where we get to talk to customers all over the world about what is happening in their cities and towns and in their taxi bases, because a lot of customers are now back in the office, which is great to see. Today I am joined by Ashley Butcher and David Hunter of ADT Taxis in Leicester. So this is the first time we've had more than two people, or more than one person from a taxi company being interviewed in Fleet Beat, and it's only right because Ashley David Taxis is the name of the company. We needed to have both Ashley and David with us today. How are you guys?
Which one's Ashley? Which one's Ashley?
You're David, I'm Ashley.
I'm David. So I'm the D.
Yes.
And you're the A. So
Say
who's
hello,
the T?
David. T is taxis.
Ashley David. You know, we should go with that. That's a good brand name. ADT.
It might catch on at some time.
It could work.
Yeah.
It could work.
It could work. It could work, indeed.
You guys Ant and Deck actually in iCabbi as well, because they're kind of two cheeky chappies. You love getting in front of the camera, so you're probably going to battle it out now for answering questions during this interview.
No, Dave's very good at that, and I'll just come in as and when I need it. So
yeah, well,
anyway,
I think the way we plan this, Ash, I'll answer the question, and for those for hard of hearing, you can do sign language.
Yeah,
so you can translate. Excellent.
We might.
Highway, Sinead.
We'll do a vote after this and see who do people want to hear from in future, Ashley or David.
Yes.
Right, guys, tell me this now. How have you gotten on during COVID-19? We're 6 months in. How have things changed for ADT?
Well, I'll start with that, and then Ash can tell you what some of the solutions we came up with. So March the 23rd, I think for the UK market, that's sort of engraved in our minds because that literally was a cliff edge. That's when lockdown started. And we had no idea whether we could remain open. And literally, it was like falling off a cliff. And so at that point, I think it was the worst day of my life, if I'm honest. Over the last 17 years working with Ash, we've been through lots of ups and downs, but nothing on this scale. So it was literally a case we had to look at all our overheads, cut back on marketing budgets, furlough staff, move things, integrate more with our Pakistani call center, and just to get the overheads down, because obviously at that point we weren't sure if there was any grants, any government help. So literally it was damage limitation, and had to make some tough decisions. And obviously it's not just our livelihoods; it's the people that work with us and the fleet of drivers. So yeah, it was a very traumatic time, as I'm sure a lot of your viewers and customers will have shared that experience. But then every crisis brings an opportunity, so you pick yourself up. And the first thing we did as a group with Ride, we were the first in the market with Click and Connect, which came on that app within a week. So great to, the team at Ride, Mark English especially, who pulled that off, working with iCabbi to integrate that into the Ride app. So that helped. Obviously, Ash, who works with me on the marketing, we did some marketing on that, didn't we, Ash?
Yeah, we went out and we were supplying some food and to the NHS, old people's homes and specialty people that, that were finding it more difficult. So we did
200 deliveries, wasn't it? Which was promote that service.
We saw your videos of you guys delivering food, and we actually featured yourself, David, in our social media webinar based off that as well. That really helped you guys stay front of mind to the local community. And
it was a lot of fun because people at that point were generally scared. Little old ladies hiding behind doors, and honestly, it brought a tear to our eyes, seeing the emotion of, thank you very much, because customers had nominated these people. They were parents that they couldn't get to or whatever. So it had a huge following on social media, and it was quite a humbling experience. And, even for ourselves, we didn't know whether we'd get infected or, where we should be hiding behind doors. But so we did that, and that got that off. And the other thing is we were working with the food delivery app pre-COVID, getting that launched. So we plan to launch it around about now, but we brought that forward by 6 months. So full credit to the the people at City Taxis who helped us launch that, on racing Liam and everyone there, the team there. So we literally turned that around in 2 weeks. And Ash and his good lady wife, you don't often see his wife, but she does exist. I didn't know he had a wife after 17 years. I thought he used to go out with a bloke called Frank. But him and his wife, they were out and managed to get over 100 suppliers onto the Eat Me app, which was launched with the help of Gordon Ramsay lookalike on social media, which again...
How is he getting on?
He's had over 1 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
Actually, yeah. I'm surprised we've not heard from the real Gordon Ramsay, but we never actually stated it's Gordon Ramsay on the video, so I think we might get away with that. But yeah, so Ash, do you want to go on with about Eat Me?
Yes, yeah. I say it from it's something that we were speaking about, as David says at the beginning, just before COVID. Before the beginning of the year, and obviously it came to a point where we thought we had to move in a direction quickly to try and look out the box and try and help us survive and move forward and keep the business running up to a point. So Dave, myself, Kate, my wife, and the guys from City, we all got together and had a chat, and then we decided, right, enough's enough here, let's get out there. And it's because we were so humbling on what we were looking at and seeing people giving the food parcels out to people, we thought, there's a bit of a missed market here that could be picked up on for a food delivery app within the local community. And going around, and then we spent many weeks going around to speak to people with takeaways, offer licenses, etc., whatever they got that was selling. And then they said they liked the idea that we've got, we were local. We said, look, we're there. There's no contract with this. We can do this for you. We can get this set up. We can do your free advertising through our Eat Me app and through any other networks which our guys do out there. I said, let's push this. And 98% of the people were very, very interested because it was a local business helping the local community. And that's what we wanted out of this, to keep it local and helpful to keep the businesses rolling, plus to use our taxis as well for the deliveries of these food things. And it was very slow to go, to begin with, but then it's getting busier and busier week on week now. And it's great. And the feedback we get from people, it's just another, they're not paying the corporate, sizes that the other Eat Me's, Uber Eats, Deliveroo's, etc. are out there. And
I think Ash, one thing that you've just picked up on that COVID kind of magnified was the keep it local thing, wasn't it? That
yes, it was, yeah.
People, there was a kickback from because obviously a lot of local businesses closed and people felt they needed to support local businesses. And that momentum has continued, and which we'll come on to later when we talk about Take Me, because there is an element of localism built
one of the
into
common threads that we're seeing across many of our fleets during COVID-19, and a common silver thread, is that a lot of companies have found opportunities amongst crisis, as you guys mentioned at the start. So the silver lining on the cloud there.
Yes.
You've your business model, but you've also done something quite unusual in the UK taxi industry by announcing last month a very significant business deal. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, we've been working on for the last few years building a taxi network. Obviously, we're members of the Ride and Group and very proud to be members of that. We've learned a lot from that ourselves and grown as business people. But we felt we wanted to take it a step further, so through mergers or buying out companies. But obviously, just being a small taxi firm in Leicester, with a peak of 650 cars pre-COVID, we didn't necessarily have the funds to go out and buy every taxi company in the UK. So we started to seek investment around about a year ago, and we've had a few people at the table. But in the end, we had one deal on the table just before COVID, but that had to be delayed because of COVID. And whilst we're in that delay period, another player came to the table, and actually we ended up with the deal that we felt was best, because we have we're still here in control of our own business, and literally we're giving a free hand to go out and buy other businesses to build that network. So the idea is to build a local network of taxi companies, because every taxi company more or less makes profits, where our American disruptors don't make profit. So obviously the private hire industry does something right compared to a huge app business. So we've been backed by MBH Corporation PLC. They liked our vision, and so that deal was announced a month ago, and it's very exciting now because we still get to run ADT, and at the same time we're out visiting taxi companies, speaking to owners, because not every owner kind of has an exit strategy. And so you have two types of owners, really. You have those that want to retire, which we can help, we can take over the business, and you have those that just have the vision and want to be part of something bigger, that still have plenty of fight left in them and are excited about the future. And those owners, we can purchase the business and give them share options in their own business and build them into the network. And eventually, once we've built the network, then we'll be launching the Take Me brand as a national network, which is a British local network, which will be app focused. But also, unlike Uber, we have the USP that we still take phone bookings. Even if you get up to 70% automation, 30% of your customers are still calling. So it's very exciting times, and we've had massive take up. And there'll be people watching this that we've been to see, and there'll be people watching this that probably want to know more. So please do get in touch. And the beauty of this is that there's no buyout. So if you do decide to sell your business in its entirety, then you will get paid, like Ash and I have done, within 60 days. So there's no waiting for 5 years, and lots of nasty little terms in your contract that if your fleet dips, they're going to claw back the money, etc. So it's all very fair, and it's PLC. It's a PLC, so it's done properly.
Okay, so congratulations, both of you guys. First of all, it's a big achievement, and I'm sure you're very excited for the future. You talked about your vision. Your vision is Take Me. So I guess you probably sat down and decided, well, we're going to invite other people to join. We can't have Ashley, David, Sinead, John, Mo, taxis. So Take Me is the brand name you come up with. I can see behind you, David, you have a load of logos there. Is this your choice of logos, or is this you're choosing one of these to be the Take Me brand? Have you got one yet?
Well, we have, and I think it's on my LinkedIn site. Now, I read somewhere BT in the UK, which is the telecoms company, recently spent nearly £10 million to come up with their new logo, which basically is a circle with the word letters BT in it, using a very generic typeface. Well, Ash and I just sat round over a coffee one day, and with a budget of £4.80 for 2 cappuccinos. And this is what we came up with. And so, yeah, it's very much...
I'll be editing this bit out, because you're going to put me out of a job if you keep talking like that.
Yeah, you have to appreciate, Sinead, we are both from a marketing background. But so Take Me was born. So obviously there's lots of play on words. We can use that for future taglines and things. Take me quickly, take me now. Take me
there, take me here, take me everywhere.
Yeah, there's so much, so we can do. So we're quite pleased with it.
You can have a lot of fun with that branding. So
Yes. And just going back, Sinead, on what you were saying about what David was saying briefly, just to carry on with that brief slightly. What we've found is that people that want to come to the market, or thinking of coming to the market, or who we're talking to, a lot of them say, "Oh, we want out of this," or too much hassle. We want to get rid. We want to move on and do this. And what we find is 95% of people of the company owners that we've gone to go and see, when we've explained this to them, we've gone through the facts and figures with them, they can see the vision of this, which way, because it's a local thing that we're loving to do and keeping together. So, and all of a sudden it re-sparks something in them. So I say the options are there for any company owner, any directors to come together to say, okay, well, you know, you can work with us, like David and myself. We're continuing, we get paid, you know, on a monthly basis, but it's not our company anymore, but we're growing the group and growing ADT still. So we know it's mushrooming out there. So everyone that has a chance, if they want to, they can stay with the group, they can stay with their company, which we prefer because it's their professionalism and their knowledge, you know, just to do that. But take a back seat, but still grow it, you know, and take your foot off the accelerator, but do more what you're excited about and you need.
Yeah, concentrate on what you do best. I mean, some owners have decided to retire, and some have been, you know, want to stay on as a consultant. Yeah. It really is tailored towards the owner, and it's not, you know, it's not just about numbers. As Ash and I and anyone else who owns a business will know, it's your baby, and it's you know, you've put the company sometimes in front of your own families, and it's a very emotional experience selling your business. Yes. And a lot of these money men, so we're kind of realism element. So there will be an accountant somewhere crunching the figures, but it's more than going, here's X amount for your business, and there you go, you keep 10%, or you can have a share option, or come on board as a consultant on top of that. So, but we're there really to guide their hands, because it's a very emotional experience. When we sold the business, I remember I was abroad on holiday, and you kind of imagine one day Ash and I would rock up to a solicitor's office and wooden cladding walls, and we'd be given a pen like this. We'd sit down in a big lengthy contract, and we'd sign away, you know, in a kind of old-fashioned solicitor's office with I don't know, somebody like Lord Melchett there, as you know. You know, sort of guiding us over the signature. But it was a very modern experience. I was in a park with my kids, and it came through on one of those signable things on email. You know, sign here. You just signed 17 years of your life away. Even though we've been kept on, and you know, I'm actually part of the MBH board now, and Ash is doing his marketing and pushing Eat Me across the country to new centres that are coming on board.
What do you
Even though we had that future, it was a very emotional experience.
It's like a child leaving the home.
What was that, Ashley?
Yeah. It's like a child leaving the home, you know, been with the family since the day one, and then all of a sudden, you know, you've got to let go, but still keep nurturing it, or even all through the life, you know.
You did well with getting to 17.
Yeah, Ash, your child is, how old is your child? 8.
For leaving the home. Let me ask you guys, what made ADT attractive to the venture capitalists in the first place? What did you need to do as a business to?
I think, I mean, they're looking at companies over 50 vehicles, but for ourselves, we approached it. It was selling the vision. You know, it's you know, we were the first on the list of companies that they've purchased, and you know, next month there'll be. I can't give too much information, but there's a lot more that are in the pipeline that will be announced very shortly, and. I mean, I'm guessing now, I don't have the exact figure because it changes, but between now and December, they would have spent £18 million on buying other companies, and with more into the pipeline that will fall into next year. You know, what's in the pipeline, if all that came through, then it's going to be 60 million quid they've spent. So, yeah, it's... I think really we presented the vision, and they've given the tools for us to create that network.
How has iCabbi helped you guys to inform your own ambition as a taxi company?
It's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. We've worked with iCabbi for many years now, and what we've found is that a lot of these companies that we're going to use iCabbi because, you know, they're a market leader out there. And to see that it's a perfect add-on. It's like a big jigsaw puzzle. You can just bring the systems together very quickly, you know, integrate them. You know, you haven't got you're not got to be paying for separate entity, you know, separate systems, separate accountants, and separate management. You can bring it all together. And then with the iCabbi side of things, it's just you know, the cloud gets very you know, built. Jigsaw puzzle gets built very quickly. And helps out.
It's just so easy, isn't it?
it doesn't matter if you're not on iCabbi, because we've met companies on other systems, which is not a problem at all. That can be changed. Again, that's down to what we do and the management do, but it's easy. We've always found iCabbi a brilliant system to get into, and we can contact you guys, and you're always there to help us, and the system is very user friendly. So you'd be foolish not to not to bring it all together like this. And it's great, because after all these years that we've been looking about doing this, and all of a sudden it's we've been given the chance to do it. And that's David and myself have always wanted to bring this together, to be work together. We're so disjointed, this industry is, over the years, and this hopefully will start to bring it all together. And we've got the same vision, and moving forward together, with a platform behind us. It's brilliant, and it's so exciting.
And actually, it will mushroom, won't it?
Yes, yeah. It'll mushroom like a fine tooth comb going through the hair. It'll be great to move on and make sure that everything's clean and tidy. But what the companies do, they'll just look at your business sense and how you've done over the last few years into it, and then they can look at what's facts and figures for moving forward. If you want to, it's great. I say it's not there to be taking your business. It's just there as an option, because, like David said, we want to move and help people to moving forward, and then they can realise that their company's worth X amount. And like, oh yeah, I can see that now.
Okay, so speaking of moving forward, let's finish with a final question for you guys. It's been a very unusual year in the taxi industry.
Yes.
We've had COVID. Yes. We've had some massive announcements recently with Uber taking over AutoCab. What does the future of the taxi industry look like for you guys? What's your vision for the future of the taxi industry?
Well, I think there's several fragments, isn't there? I mean, obviously we're all going to become mobility as a service, as people move into one app that can book your trains and flights and everything, and taxis and everything works in real time. So if you run late, it rebooks the next stage of your journey. So there's that. I see a lot more aggregation, a lot more networking, a lot more use of data. I see motor manufacturers coming, like Renault with iCabbi, coming into the sector, because their business model of selling metal is being disrupted. Actually, I think if people are smart, then we're going to be part of that future. As I said earlier, private hire companies, they know the market, they're local. There's a big thing on local now. They make profit, and obviously, actually, with Uber entering the market, working with taxi companies, shows that they haven't been successful in doing it on themselves, dealing with individual drivers. As we all know, is hard work, and they won't be the last. There'll be other. I mean, you'll have Didi coming into the market from China, and hopefully they'll work with the trade as well. And actually, I mean, I actually think Uber doing that is a good thing, to be honest. And it's no different to car getting work through Carhu, Uber, CMAC. It's an aggregator. So we'll see how that goes. But operators know best, obviously.
Finally, for anybody who's watching who's interested in becoming part of Take Me, how can they get in touch with you guys?
First, they can just. I'm going to give an email address out. We have John who coordinates this in our office. So that's John at. I'll give you his ADT email address to begin. So it's John at ADT - which is that little line, taxis.co.uk.
Okay,
taxis with an S.
Taxis with an S. Very good. Thank you very much, Ashley and David. Both of you, you've been as entertaining as always, and we will be delighted to see you back here talking about ADT and also about Take Me in the very near future. So best of luck for now.
We look forward to it, guys, and you take care. Thank you very much.